Bro, I just finished the season finale, uh, like 30 seconds ago. The very end of episode 22, Home. That was so cool. That was so cool. I loved Bonnie and Damon standing there at the end of the fucking afterworld or whatever, just basically staring down Armageddon in the face, holding hands, being like, I know there are a lot of other people who you'd rather be in this situation with right now. And he's like, yeah, I could think of a couple thousand. She says, think it'll hurt. And he goes, I don't know. Ah, 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 oh, God. Fuck, fuck, that's good. I was a little worried going into season 5 of the Vampire Diaries because, well, I guess because of what I've seen online, the general discourse surrounding the show is that it goes off the rails and crashes in Stupid Town. And I thought I thought we were on a one-way ticket to fucking Stupid Town. But I really liked season 5, to be honest with you. Julie Plec is also a very skilled postmodern artist. And she's accomplished something with season 5 that Kevin Williamson never even attempted. You know, Kevin's gone, and Julie Plec has complete control of the show by season 5. This is all Julie Plec's vision. She's an auteur, and I'm kind of shocked at what she did in season 5. My reading of season 5, my what I think the show's about uh, at this point, it's fascinating, okay? Like it's really exciting to me personally. Season 5 is a divorce, is a breakup. It's the teen show breaking up with postmodernism as a philosophy, as a mode of expression, as a set of tools. So, you know, a divorce from deconstructionism, a divorce from archetypal definitions, a divorce from everything postmodern. And the show's kind of trying to move into a more sincere direction. And I believe that that's what kind of afterlife world, that other world, um, God, they only said the name of the world, like the afterlife of that about 1,000 times, but I guess I blanked out every time they said it. But, you know, I think that other world, the world of the dead is, the world of dead narratives. It's where narratives go once they've completed themselves. It's where characters go once they've completed their arcs. Always there and available for postmodern artists to deconstruct, reinterpret, recontextualize, and repurpose in the ongoing narrative of our lived worlds, of our lived experiences. Bonnie operates as an anchor. She's the most important character of season 5. I've said it from the beginning. Bonnie is the hero of the Vampire Diaries, and now, because of season 5, she's one of the most important postmodern characters that I've ever seen in my life. And so is Damon. And that's why I think it's so fucking perfect that they're the ones holding hands at the end of postmodernism, at the very last episode. This next season, there will be no postmodernism. I'm telling you, there's no postmodernism in season 6. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be here next week not talking about postmodernism because this season put a nail in the coffin that is postmodern teen drama. The three most important characters this season are Bonnie Bennett, Damon Salvatore, and Katherine motherfucking Pierce. Katherine Pierce, the episode Gone Girl, where she dies, easily, easily, so far the best episode of the Vampire Diaries that I've watched. And it's up there with some of the best episodes of teen shows ever. It's up there with Runaway Little Boy from Gilmore Girls, Chad Michael Murray's last episode in season 2, episode 9. Um, it's not as good as that episode, but it's on a list. It's on a short list where that episode's at the top for Gilmore Girls. This is such a great episode because Katherine Pierce at this point in the show has come to define the postmodern wrecking ball, something that Kevin Williamson might have actually invented with characters like Abby Morgan on Dawson's Creek. These characters who see a perfectly conventional or fine narrative system and is determined to sabotage it But at the same time, there's an ulterior narrative purpose or motive to these characters, to these postmodern wrecking balls, and that is to push these characters into new and fun and interesting and deeper kind of situations, to these emotional peaks and zeniths that they would not have been able to reach had they followed the conventional narrative to its natural conclusion. Postmodern wrecking balls bulldoze everything down, bulldoze archetypal limitations down until these characters, the characters around them in whatever show or film they're appearing in, uh, can not only deconstruct but reconstruct themselves into something that is more fascinating than what they originally were. And when Katherine Pierce dies, she goes around to each character that she has wronged, right? It reminds me a lot of Abby Morgan. When Andy was like, "You're just mean, Abby. That's what you do," and she says, "That's not what I do. It's not my function in this friend group. You're just too unimaginative to notice. I create drama." And that's what Katherine Pierce does, and she gets to have a kind of victory lap where she's dying and she gets to walk around to each character like Tyler, Stefan, Damon, Elena, Caroline. She gets to walk around to all of our principal characters and go, "Yeah, I'm so sorry for making you more interesting. You know what? I'm so sorry that I pushed you to discover something authentic about yourself. I'm so sorry that I made you unique. I'm so sorry that I made this show better." And she is the personification of postmodernism at that point because these are postmodern elements and techniques that teen drama and teen shows, teen media as a whole, popularized a lot in the mid 90s and used the tools of postmodernism to really redefine and revolutionize television. And at this point, Catherine is a perfect hyper personification of postmodernism because now postmodernism within teen shows or teen dramas, it's viewed as poisonous at that climate, at that time. And so they're having to divorce and break up with postmodernism. They're having to kill postmodernism in a very significant way. And they're showing you what they're going to do in the death of postmodernism because Catherine Pierce's final arc was one of sensitivity, one of unexpected tenderness. It still had that sexy, sultry viciousness that we've come to love from Catherine Pierce. And by the way, Nina Dobrev, perfect performance as Catherine. You are incredible. She had a very tender story full of pathos and pity that involved her long lost daughter. So we're seeing that in the death of postmodernism, sincerity will follow naturally, a new sincerity. Bonnie is the last person that she sees because Bonnie is the anchor, and all dead supernatural beings pass through Bonnie to go to the next world. And Bonnie is in a church lighting candles for her dead father. And Catherine and her have a brilliant scene where Catherine's like, "Well, I left, but I also left a lot of gears in motion here. I left the time bomb waiting to explode, my last postmodern parlor trick." And then Catherine is sucked away to fucking the darkness, to the hell dimension or something. She's just sucked away and gone forever, screaming as she goes. She does not go quietly into that long, dark night. She does not go quietly because Catherine Pierce is postmodernism, and postmodernism will not go quietly. The world of ghosts and supernatural spirits, that's the world of dead narratives and finished character arcs. And Bonnie being that anchor, being that connection to the postmodern tools. And that entire world of postmodernism, that entire world of languages, of visual grammar, of philosophy, of styles, moods, s- aesthetics is gone in a blip. Bonnie is so good as an anchor because Bonnie has always been the most sensitive character. She was worked out that way deliberately from the very first season because I said that Kevin Williamson takes a lot of postmodern liberties with his other characters. He's pretty tongue-in-cheek. He's kind of merciless with his other characters, but Bonnie is sincerity. And postmodernism without sincerity is vacant, is nihilistic, is very cynical. But Bonnie is the anchor. And that's why Bonnie is the anchor, because she is sincere. She is nothing but sincere. She's mad sexy though. Oh my god, her bob, her haircut, her hairstyle this season. I just want to pounce, man. She's mad sexy, yo. Uh, where was I? Yes, and Damon is ridiculously captivating. He's turned in season 5 from romantic libertine into a sort of postmodern revolutionary. Because if Bonnie represents all the sincerity of postmodernism, all of the tenderness and sensitivities um, of postmodernism, the potential for all the sensitivities that postmodern art can bring to teen shows and teen dramas and to all narratives everywhere. She's sincerity. Damon is the nihilism that always accompanies sincerity within postmodern projects. He's the nihilism, he's violence, he's sexy, he is the hedonism that often accompanies sincerity. He's decadence, and she's purity. And they end holding hands together. The two most important ingredients of postmodernism, the two most important archetypes in all of teen shows, holding hands at the end of their artistic world. Like the artistic makeup of the Vampire Diaries is going to have to shift entirely because this show, I've never seen it done before. Kevin Williams had never attempted it. Julie Plec is a genius too. But she's a genius who's unafraid to look like a moron, for the benefit of the story, because there's a lot of the Vampire Diaries season 5 that makes you scratch your head and go, okay, have we lost the plot? Do we know what we're doing here? With like introductions from characters like Enzo and the twin fucking traveler witches, or the travelers in general are fucking lame. And you're like, have we lost the plot? Does Julie Plec know what she's doing? Absolutely, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing so well that she's unafraid to show you how it's done poorly in order to do it well. Um, Reminds me a little bit of I, Marlene King from Pretty Little Liars in this respect. She will do something absurd in order to accomplish something unreal. And this season is fucking wow. Wow, it's a breakup. It's a breakup with postmodernism done through the teen show, so it's extremely melodramatic. It's unforgiving, and it's sensitive. Paul Wesley, like, while I think that Damon and Bonnie are the most important characters this season, along with Catherine, those are the 3 most important and vital characters of season 5, and possibly of the whole show as well. Klaus is my favorite character of the whole show, Klaus and Bonnie, but and I was right. The show does suffer without Klaus. It does. He comes back for 1 episode this season, fucks Caroline in the forest, and then fucking I guess goes back to New Orleans into the originals. It does suffer without Klaus. But season 5 still had a lot of magnificent cards up its sleeve. This season's about breaking up with postmodernism as a toolkit, as a mode of expression, as an artistic style, as a philosophy. That's incredible. But even so, the best performance of this season is Paul Wesley. He plays not only Stefan, but Silas and another doppelganger of himself. He plays a couple different characters this season, and it's wonderful seeing Paul Wesley have fun in roles that are kind of at different ends of the emotional spectrum. He's very good. He's very good, and Stefan is a very good character. You know, uh, Damon gets a spotlight on him because he is unavoidable. You can't ignore Damon. Damon is an extremely powerful character. Stefan is more, I suppose the word would be understated. He has so much tenderness, so much sensitivity, and so much love, and he has a great deal of authenticity, even within the absurd dilemmas and situations that the character finds himself in, mostly due to Paul Wesley's very, very good performance. And for Elena, I'm often asked if I'm Team Damon or Team Stefan. I like Damon a lot more as a character, but when it comes to who do I think is better for Elena, there's a secret third. choice here. There's a third option, a secret third thing where I don't think Elena's good for either of them. I don't. I think she's symbolically the source of a blood vendetta between two brothers that has eclipsed wars and now the death of an entire philosophy. I don't think Elena is good for either brother. I'm Team Stefan and Team Damon. I am not Team Elena. I think Elena is an extremely selfish kind of character. I think she's serviceable to the plot and to the story, but I find her to be entirely narcissistic and self-centered. Last season, I kind of blamed that on her becoming a vampire and turning off her empathy switch, but no, she's still just all about her. I get a striking amount of narcissism when I'm interacting with Elena Gilbert. Uh, I find her to be a pretty unlikable character now, but that's fine. That is totally fine. She's still fun to look at, so whatever. And I know that a lot of people like Elena, and I don't blame you for liking and identifying with Elena. There are a lot of good qualities. It's just I feel like she uses both Damon and Stefan. Um, I feel like she's hurtful to them. I know that the entire point, the secret of the Vampire Diaries is that everyone is abusive, every single character. Elena's so oblivious about it, I guess. To me, she doesn't take responsibility. That's neither here nor there. I just don't really like Elena. I hated Silas as a character. I hated that whole doppelganger, like him having a doppelganger as well as a concept, because I feel like it needlessly convolutes the very cool postmodern thematics that were established in the first 3 or 4 seasons. Now we have two doppelgangers. Elena is actually like less special, which makes her seem even more narcissistic. Because I can understand being narcissistic if you are like this single doppelganger, like if you are the narrative's double given physical poetry. But now there are multitudes of you, and Stefan is like the most selfless fucking guy on the planet. The narcissism is magnified. I just prefer it. I prefer the thematics and the concepts of the show to provide us with like one set of doppelgangers, Elena and Catherine. I don't really get a whole lot of new deepness or richness to that metaphor with Stefan and Silas. I don't. I really don't. But it's fine. You know, like I said, the show is not afraid to explore a lot of dead ends, a lot of different avenues. And the ones that it goes all in on, like breaking up with postmodernism as a concept, as perfectly hyper personified and expressed through not only Katherine Pierce's death, but the entire destruction of the ghost world, of the afterworld, cataclysm, postmodernism's Armageddon. It was poetry. It was deeply poetic. I love that. I love that a lot. 2 seasons in a row of hanging on a cliffhanger where Bonnie is dead. Wow. Wow, this show. But since she's holding Damon's hand, they're not gonna get rid of Damon. No way. No way. Damon and Bonnie will be back. I would be truly shocked if they didn't come back. I think a good way to view television is as like seasons as they're not you gotta view them in contradictory ways. Like seasons are kind of self-contained series of episodes telling their own narrative, but you also have to view them as informing all of the other episodes and all of the other seasons. You know, so you have to view them both as self-contained, 22 episode long arcs, but also not self-contained 22 episode long arcs as part of a greater whole. But if we view it in the more self-contained kind of idea, these 22 episodes, I think, are wonderfully structured, uh, very fascinatingly paced, and no matter what happens in season 6, I think postmodernism is gone. The show destroyed postmodernism. It's gone and it's not coming back. So we're going to get something more sincere. And most likely, if it's more sincere, it's going to be more melodramatic. And therefore, we might go to Stupid Town soon. That might be the next stop on the Vampire Diaries train, which I, at this point, would be comfortable with. 5 glorious seasons of postmodern brilliance. That's what I've got so far from the show. Um, so when Damon and Bonnie ultimately, eventually, most likely come back in season 6, uh, this ending of season 5 is doesn't take any power away from it. It's still entirely profound, and it's still one of the coolest things I've ever seen. You know, I hope that Julie Plec and the writers and the cast too. Hope that everyone took a step back at the season finale at home, episode 22. Took a step back and went, "Wow, wow, they really fucking did something here." It's a massive accomplishment, and I'm just so impressed. I really am. So, yeah, I was worried going into this season. I thought that this is where things were gonna start to get real bad because season 4 had a few moments that were difficult to sit through, and so did season 5. But season 5 also had something a lot more powerful, and it's gonna resonate with me for so long. This is the breakup. Postmodernism is dead. Postmodernism is dead, and the Vampire Diaries killed it.